Ciao Milanisti, it's your boy Kush in the Milan Corner. Not one day's break, guys. Not one day to celebrate making second place, making Champions League. We're already back to stressing. This legend put it perfectly. This is what it's like to be a Milan fan.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Yes, and today's one of those crappy days. Alright, so what's going on? Gigio Donnarumma. Milanisti, looks like our goalkeeper, the one that we're convinced that is gonna stay once we make Champions League, is leaving. So what exactly happened? Okay, so what happened is that Donnarumma, who's represented by part-time agent, full-time pizza lover Mino Raiola, was given an offer for 7 million plus 1 million in bonuses for, I believe, a 2-year period of time. Initially, Milan was offering this contract for 4 years. They also made an option to make it for 2 years. They even made an option for make it for 1 year, so we can just sign that contract and start negotiating for next year. Why? The reason why is because his contract ends, I believe, in 35 days. That means in 35 days, Donnarumma can leave Milan for free. This is an asset easily worth, what, 40, 50 million? Yeah, we get zero. So what Milan had done, they had offered a contract, 7 million plus 1 million in bonuses to try and keep him at the club for the near future. What Mino Raiola did apparently is he didn't even take Milan's calls. He started ignoring the club and said that until and unless the club makes an offer in the 10 to 12 million range, they will not be considering. All of us thought that the whole problem was around Champions League. Donnarumma wants to play the Champions League, so he's not going to sign until Milan until we qualify for that. On the final match day, we did qualify for that. But guess what happens the day after? The day after news comes out that Mike Maignan arrived at Milan, completed his medical. He's Lille's #1 goalie. Lille won the Ligue 1. Poor guys also didn't get to celebrate their trophy. They lose their goalkeeper in just a few days. What that means is that it's pretty unlikely that Milan is signing Maignan as a backup for Donnarumma. He probably would want to join Milan as their first choice goalkeeper. At this point of time, there's still 35 days left in Donnarumma's contract. That means that there's still room to negotiate a new deal. However, Sky has reported, Gianluigi Donnarumma has reported that Milan don't plan on negotiating anymore for Donnarumma. That means it's over. The Donnarumma saga is over. What do I feel about this? Milanisti, I'll say a few things. Mino Raiola is a football agent. His responsibility is get his players the best contracts. He's been hired by his clients to get them the best salary. That's his responsibility. So we kind of just have to accept that he's watching out for somebody who's hired him to do exactly that. The problem comes when this gets too corporatized. For Donnarumma, a 22-year-old, for however mature he is, I don't know if he's fully aware of what is happening right now the same way he would be when he's 29, 30. I think he might look back at this and say, I didn't really have to do it this way. But again, that's kind of immaterial. What matters is AC Milan's future, not Gigio Donnarumma's future. And Paolo Maldini and his management are the future of this club. And I kind of respect them for this move. I kind of see it as a power move by Maldini and company. They don't want to deal with this anymore. They don't want to deal with this back and forth. This is our best offer. Take it or leave it. We're not going to get manipulated by you. Gary Neville and Roy Keane said this about Mino Raiola when they were having these issues with Paul Pogba at Manchester United. These guys said very openly, clubs need to stop dealing with this agent. When clubs stop dealing with this agent is when this agent will come more in line. And the players will also say, hey, we don't want to keep ruining our relationships with all these clubs. We care about the teams that we're playing for. We know you care about money. We don't want to tarnish our reputations with the fans. Donnarumma saw the send-off that Milanisti gave them when they went to play against Atalanta. He respects that. I know he does. He has to. He respects the fans. He respects the organization. He loves this team. How many times has he grabbed and kissed the badge in front of Juve fans? Once. Still. The second thing that I'll say, as an organization, as AC Milan, this is not the first time that this is happening. Things like these happen all the time with clubs. We lost Shevchenko in 2006. The next year, Milan went on to win the Champions League. We lost Kaká in 2009. 2 years later, we went on to win the Serie A. Clubs move on. Teams move on from players. No single player is bigger than the organization. Eden Hazard left Chelsea for Real Madrid this year. They beat Real Madrid in the semi-final. They've made it to the final of the Champions League. Eden Hazard was irrelevant. As a team, we have moved on in the past from star players. and we have to continue to move on from star players. But the best part about all of this is that Maldini and company have come out and said, no, we don't want to deal with this agent. We don't want this drama. You want to leave, get out, go. Guys, it's like you're dating a girl, and ever so often, it's a good relationship, it's a high quality girl, but ever so often she keeps threatening to leave you. And she has an agent of the name of Mino Raiola who comes to you and says, hey, if you don't treat her this certain way, I'm gonna take her and make her date somebody else. At a certain point, you're gonna be like, just go. Just go. And that's kind of what happened. But you know what happens sometimes? Sometimes when you actually call their bluff and you ask them to go, you're like, hey, yeah, I don't want to date you anymore. Go. She goes home. She's all alone. She now starts to miss you. She now starts to think, what have I done? Why did I do this? Do we really think that Donnarumma, after he cried on the field after Milan made Champions League 2 nights ago, and what? 2 days later, he doesn't care about the club? 2 days later, he wants to leave? What kind of a roller coaster of emotion is that? How much of this is Donnarumma's call and how much of this is Mino Raiola's power play that backfired? Hard to tell, but if I really had to put my money on something, I think it is the fact that Raiola tried to do a power play, ignore Milan until they gave him 10 to 12, and Milan counterattacked and said, hey, Mike Maignan, you're a goalkeeper now. Here's the contract that Milan has offered Mike Maignan. 5 years at $2.5 million. And Mike Maignan is a good quality goalkeeper. Look at the statistic. He had the most clean sheets in Ligue 1 last year. If Milan's backline can hold, Mike Maignan can get the job done at Milan too. Maldini and company picked Mike Maignan. Maldini and company are the ones that picked out Ante Rebic, Theo Hernandez, Ismail Benacer. I trust their judgment. If they say Mike Maignan is our goalkeeper for the future, potentially that's what they're saying, I'm on board with it. And this is a pretty easy one. The number of clean sheets, wins the title, France's future goalkeeper. What else do you really need? Now, what do I think is going to happen? Look, guys, there's still 35 days in Donnarumma's contract. Donnarumma can still negotiate a deal. Donnarumma might realize that, hey, you know what? I don't want to leave this club. I want to play at least 1 or 2 seasons with them in the Champions League. So he could still very much sign at Milan. But here's the part that I want to say. Do we want him to? Because here's the thing, Milanisti. He's 22 years old. In 2 years, he signs a 2-year deal. We're going to be dealing with the same stuff. In 4 years, when he turns 28, again, the same thing. As long as his agent is Mino Raiola, this is all that we're going to be dealing with over and over and over again. We're not even taking into account Mino Raiola's own commissions for this, which are an astronomical amount in itself. I don't have a firm number on it, but I think I'm talking north of 10 million on that. But a part of me, as I already talked about the girlfriend example, feels good from this breakup. I kind of feel nice. Like, you know what? There's a lot of peace of mind on the other side of this relationship, and I think that peace of mind is now more tempting than seeing you being on board. We need to focus on becoming a relevant organization, an organization that can balance its books. Accounting matters. You can't just say, hey, throw 100 million here, 200 million here. No, that's not how you run organizations. That's not how you run any business. The foundation of a business is, can you meet your costs? And can you then turn it into a profit? Milan had a terrible wage bill. Maldini and company lowered that wage bill considerably. I believe our wage bill is 91 million now, which is probably, I think, the best in the top 6, top 7 teams in Serie A. Milanisti, what do you think about this whole saga? Should we be trying to sign Donnarumma still? Should we be giving him whatever he's asking for, keep Maignan as a backup goalkeeper? Or should we just move on? We don't want Donnarumma headache. That headache caused us distractions. That headache has caused Donnarumma distractions in the past. We can only wait to see how it impacts him during the Euros, because there's going to be a base of fans during the Euros that are not going to be very supportive of him. We all remember what happened when they threw cash at him the last time around. Thank you for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like this video if you're excited for Mike Maignan's arrival at Milan. Follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at the Milan Corner so we can talk about Milan and football. As always, Forza Milan, grazie mille e ciao tutti!